Hey, it's Major General Karin Travers.
Keep your voice down, you idiot!
Private Yuito Sumeragi. I heard you were getting chased around by the crows.
Yes, sir.
They're just like mosquitoes in the winter. Powerless, but annoying. So use them instead. It's easier to climb the ranks with some notoriety. You'll also learn a thing or two under Seto's leadership. Anyway, keep at it. I expect big things from you.
Lucky you. Major General Karin apparently has had an eye on your talent since you were still a cadet.
What? Really?
Yes, a Septentrion First Class thinks you're promising. Don't let him down.
Major General Karin's faith in me. It doesn't seem to be because of my brother. He doesn't seem the type. Oh, crap. I can't stop myself from smiling.
Anyway, could you go report to Wataru? I'm going to go check on Kagero.
Why?
It seems like he stayed behind in Kikuchiba, and I'm a little concerned. Oh yes, and Nagi, you entered a prohibited area back there. Write and submit an incident report immediately.
Oh. Wow, a Septentrion like Karin knows you.
He must really see something in you. It's so amazing that you managed to get his attention.
Yeah. But I'm a volunteer soldier.
You're finally here. I got so tired of waiting for you that I dragged myself out. Hurry up and give me your mission report to put on record. I want to get this over with so I can go play some games.
It's a distress signal. We have to go. I'm coming too.
You were told to write up an incident report, Nagi.
But Yuito is going. Hanabi, please go see Wataru for me. And could you help Nagi write his report? I'll head over to Mizuhagawa.
What?
Yuito, be careful. It must be bad if Arashi is asking for help.
You're backing me up. I'm counting on you.
Be careful, Yuito.
Yeah, sorry about everything. Like Nagi.
Seriously. Make it back in one piece, alright?
Yuito, I sent you the location data for the distress signal. Confirm? Arashi should be there. Understood. Now! I did it. If I aim carefully, I'll be able to make the mission easier.
Here we go! We did it!
Hey, Wataru. What's it like there? The extinction belt advanced while the city was being constructed. A lot of others came down and it became a dangerous area. There are no plans to restart construction. It's a forgotten ghost town.
Let's keep this up. Come on. Here we go. Leave it to me.
hit the outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks.
Here we go!
The shell is broken. Give it everything you have.
Here we go! Come on! All right.
Looks like there's a resource nearby.
New guy, right on time. As you can see, I'm in the middle of something. Do you think you could help me out?
Of course. At your service.
You don't need to be so formal. Age and rank don't mean much here.
Oh, okay. I would like to help as well.
Good answer. Gemma, connect Yuito to the SAS.
Affirmative. Arashi, can you use your hypervelocity to get behind the target?
Do I get hazard pay?
That's something you should take up with Major General Fubuki.
Fine, I'll help. You two handle the front while I take the back.
Damn. It's the crows.
I'm gonna give it my all.
That's it!
What's with that drone? It totally gave us away to the others.
It happens. The crows have a right to use their drones to broadcast.
But I know how you feel. All right. You guys promise to back up my story later, okay?
What? For real?
Arashi, you're going to be reprimanded.
So get your story straight and back me up. Yuito, your power is psychokinesis, right? Use their remnants as you see fit. You can drop any crows that show up after, too.
Okay.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Unfortunately, the fallen drone won't come back. Don't make its sacrifice be in vain.
But you're the one who knocked it down.
Hey, I just answered Yuito's request.
What? Yuito. Fight speed with speed. Captain Gemma? Pleased to meet you.
I thought Arashi told you not to be so formal. Just call me Gemma.
You look so old, Gemma. That's probably why he's acting like that.
Well, I am older. But even so, don't worry about it.
Now die! Come on!
Now I can take it easy.
You should be able to break the outer shell if you keep attacking. Shell breach confirmed. Put the pressure on.
Let's keep this up.
All done. Ugh, that was way too much work. I don't feel like doing anything now.
What are we gonna do about destroying the Crow's drones? Intentionally interfering with their reporting is against military regulation.
We accidentally mistook it for an other and destroyed it. It happens. Got it?
Yes, it was an unfortunate accident. Though I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Hey, don't worry about it. You showed promise.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
We did what we had to. Now let's get back to Suo.
Yes.
Hey, Gemma,
What?
your leg. You look like you're limping. Did you get hurt?
Oh, you're right. This isn't good. Running into more others now would be bad news.
I'm fine.
If you're limping, you must be in pain. We should at least do some first aid.
No, it's dangerous out here. We need to move.
I know a place. My family has a unit around here we use as an emergency shelter when we travel to Seiran. We should be able to treat you safely there.
That's great. Show us the way.
Copy that. I'll send you the coordinates now.
Okay, you're right. That is close. Gemma, you just have to tough it out until we get there.
I'm fine.
Stop it. I know you, and you're always pushing yourself too hard. So this is the Sumeragi Family Evacuation Unit. It's a lot fancier than your standard unit.
You think so?
I know, we should tell Seto about this place and make it a safe house for Seto Platoon. It's like a little hideout. It feels perfect.
What's a safe house?
It's like an evacuation site each team has that's separate from headquarters.
OSF refers to them as hideouts. They come in handy when we're faced with casualties like today.
Oh, that's right. Gemma, let me see your leg.
You're not fine at all. Look at all the blood. Stop trying to tough everything out.
I wasn't doing it intentionally. I just couldn't feel the pain because of all the adrenaline.
Yeah. Anyway, Yuito, you looked comfortable with medical treatments. I'm impressed.
I had health problems as a kid, so I have a lot of experience taking care of my own injuries.
I see. I'm sure your parents were pretty busy.
Yeah. You know who my father is, and my mother was killed by another when I was 5. We had a maid at home, but I just got used to doing everything on my own.
It's good to be independent. Though not sure that's very convincing coming from me.
Yeah, you could learn to do a few more things on your own, so Major General Fubuki won't have to worry so much.
Major General Fubuki? What does he have to do with Arashi?
I thought it was common knowledge. Fubuki and I are siblings.
What? You're the Major General's younger sister?
The other way around. You can't judge anyone in the OSF by our appearance. I'm Fubuki's older sister.
Arashi has the potential to rival even the Septentrions if she stops slacking off.
How rude, Gemma. I just hate wasting my energy. What do you say we rest here? Even if we go back to Suo, all that's waiting for us there is paperwork and nosy crow news interviews.
Hello, everyone.
Aren't you the daughter of the Ichijo OSF hospital chairman?
Captain Arashi Spring?
Call me Arashi, please. Every year you newbies have the same reaction.
I'm sorry. Nice to meet you. I'm Hanabi Ichijo. The hospital is run by my uncle, who's the head of the family, so we aren't directly involved.
I see. Well, I suppose it's best if both of us avoid connections to hospitals and pharmaceuticals.
Hanabi, did you bring it?
Yes, I brought medication and emergency rations. Were the supplies here in this unit that old?
A lot of them were past their expiration date. I mean, my dad hasn't been to Seiron in a long time, so I guess it's understandable. Oh, don't worry, Gemma. The medication and bandages I used on you weren't expired.
Thanks again for your help. You two seem close. Did you know each other before joining the OSF?
We're childhood friends.
Not surprising, the Ichijo and Sumeragi families would be acquainted. Well, you've come all this way. Why don't you stay and make yourself comfortable?
Yes.
Sounds like Arashi calls the shots.
Arashi looks so different from the way they present her on TV.
She's always lazy when she's not on camera, so a lot of people call her Lazy Ara.
Lazy Ara. That suits her perfectly.
A message from Kasane? I should check it right away. A call from Kasane? Maybe I can ask her a little bit about the person who saved me. Sorry to keep you waiting. So, what is it?
I'm glad you get straight to the point. I was getting tired of people who force small talk.
Thanks. I figured.
Is there anyone you like?
What? Why is she asking me that? Does she?
What's your type? What are your plans for your future? Are you interested in taking over Randall Industries?
Wait, hold on. Why are you asking me that?
I'm running a background check.
Is that why you called me here?
Not just that. Captain Seto seems to have dropped his fountain pen around here somewhere. I wanted to talk to you anyway, so I thought I'd ask you what you knew about it.
His fountain pen? Now that you mention it, I guess Captain Seto did have a nice one. How come you're looking for it?
So even you like to ask too many questions.
What? That's a perfectly normal question to ask.
Don't look at me like that. We can talk while we look for the pen.
It sprayed something like oil. Don't get on it.
Together! Leave it to me! It's over!
Hey, I bet Captain Seto would be happy if we found the fountain pen.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, let's do our best then. Conversation is non-existent, but I have to ask her about the person who saved me. Looks like there's a resource nearby.
I guess you're not as useless in battle as I thought.
Oh man, she's really harsh. Hey, I have something I want to ask you too. Is that alright?
What?
When I was little, I was attacked by another and almost died. But then someone from the OSF saved me, and she looked just like you. So, I was wondering if you knew anything about it.
We're about the same age. When you were a child, I would have been one too.
No, I mean, maybe you have a much older sister.
Shh, quiet. An enemy. Get ready to fight.
Okay. Here we go! Come on! Here we go! Here I go! Here we go!
It's done.
We did it! Yeah! Come on! Come on! Looks like we won. Huh? Isn't that Captain Seto's fountain pen behind you?
This is it? Thanks. You were a big help. Anyway, back to what you were saying.
About the OSF person who saved me?
Did you check the OSF registry?
Of course, but I didn't find her. I thought maybe she was discharged. Oh, right. The person who saved me had the exact same hair clip as that one. Can you tell me where you bought yours?
That's not possible. My sister made this for me.
What? Really?
Your power is psychokinesis too. Do you think you might be having realistic dreams?
Dreams? I can't really say for sure. I was a kid at the time, and my memory is a bit hazy.
I've always had strange dreams. Oddly realistic dreams. A woman mutters something about red strings, and then red threads encircle me like a cocoon. I thought my dreams were real when I was a child. It was confusing. I thought that since you also have psychokinesis, maybe you had realistic dreams too.
No, I'm sure it wasn't a dream. It has to be real. That person gave me this ear cuff.
I see. Then I don't think I can help you any further.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was a weird thing to bring up.
It's fine.
Well, we found the fountain pen, so I guess I'll head back.
Right. Thank you. That was a good background check.
Oh, right. I completely forgot that was a thing. Why me?
All right. Goodbye.
I'll head back too.
I heard you took down another major other. Oh man, I wish I could have fought with you. It wasn't broadcast this time. Weren't the crows there? No, a lot was going on.
Yuito, wanna talk? I mean, we're on the same team now.
Okay, but what do you want to talk about? We've known each other since we were kids. You pretty much know everything about me.
You know, we didn't see much of each other since joining up. I thought we could catch up.
Catch up? I guess we haven't had the time to really sit down and talk.
Right? Why don't we go take a walk out of the city?
Okay, let's go.
I haven't been on a relaxing walk like this in a while.
Me neither. I've been on missions constantly since being assigned.
We need to take time for ourselves like this now and then.
So, what were you doing between the time you were scouted and the time you joined?
Well, during my time at the academy, I studied, trained my power, and hung out with friends.
Me too. I guess there's not too much difference between the scouted and volunteer soldiers.
Yeah, we were both headed to the same place in the end.
What about everything else? How are your parents?
They're both doing great. Just the other day, they kept messaging me while they were on a date for their wedding anniversary.
They're so carefree. I'm glad to hear they haven't changed.
I found myself ignoring their calls for a while. It feels nice to talk like this again.
It's only been 2 years, but it feels like we haven't seen each other for much longer.
Yeah, it really does.
Are you okay?
It's nothing. Anyway, can I ask you something?
Sure. What's up?
So, what do you think about Kasane?
Huh? Why are you suddenly bringing up Kasane?
Well, you know, we're catching up. I wanted to ask you something that must be on your mind. And it seemed like you've been thinking about Kasane. A lot.
It did? Well, I guess I've been curious about her.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know how to put it. I can't get Kasane's face out of my mind.
You can't?
No. Her face looks exactly like the person who saved me when I was a kid. I'll never forget that face. So when I met someone who had the same face, I started to wonder if they were somehow related.
Oh, so it's just because she looks like the person who saved your life.
Yeah, that's right. The reason why I even volunteered for the OSF is because I wanted to be like the person who saved my life. She's the ideal image of what the OSF should be.
That wasn't exactly the direction I was going for, but I guess that's fine.
Then what did you want to know? I'll try to answer.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. You know, you're really amazing. You've had this goal since you were a child, and you've been working towards it all your life.
No, I'm not amazing at all. You're way more amazing, because you were actually scouted.
That's not true. Being scouted meant that I had no choice but to enlist.
You didn't want to join the OSF?
It's not that, but I never thought about what I wanted to do in the OSF.
That's so like you. You're more comfortable taking action than you are thinking.
Hey, that seems like a roundabout way of calling me stupid.
What? No, I didn't mean it like that at all. You just put more stock into being proactive. Wait, that's not much better.
I'm just joking. I know what you mean. Ready to head back to the hideout?
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me out. I'm really glad we got to talk like this again.
I had fun too. Do you want to talk again like this sometime?
That sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, it's a promise. Don't forget.
I won't. You better not forget either.
I definitely won't. Well, let's head back to the hideout.
She hasn't changed. She's so cheerful and energetic. I feel recharged.
You haven't changed at all.
Really?
Really? I mean, you're still into Baki, but I'm a bit happy that you haven't changed. Just staying being you.
I want to get to know you better, you know?
Oh, like fighting habits? I guess that would be important if we're fighting together.
I'm tired. Maybe I should rest a bit. Huh? When did I get to Sumeragi Tomb?
Yuito, Kagero said they're running military exercises in the training area. We should join them. Okay, I'll be right there.
What am I doing here? Crap, do I sleepwalk? I'll talk to Kaito about it later.
I'm still out of it. The training facility should be in OSF headquarters. When did I come to Sumeragi Tomb? It's creepy that I don't remember.
Oh, Yuito.
Great, we're all here now. Time for some three-man field exercises. The rules are simple. There will be a single flag placed on the field. The team who grabs it and reaches the goal first wins. And you'll be happy to know that your beloved Kagero has saved up his hard-earned allowance to provide the winning team with a luxurious prize.
Whoa, all right.
How are we dividing up the teams?
A lottery system courtesy of me and implemented by Tsugumi. We all draw strings and team up by color.
Let's draw already.
Looks like we have our teams.
Let's do this, you two.
Naomi and I are in different teams.
Yes!
Nagi, Gemma, you'll regret it if Naomi gets so much as a scratch.
Got it.
Don't worry, my power is specialized for defense.
Tsugumi, let's do our best.
Okay.
I guess we're on the same team. Let's see if you're as good as the crows think you are.
What's with him? Okay.
As I'm sure you know, I'm Shiden from the Scouted class. I have the same electrokinesis power as Captain Seto. You better not slow me down.
I'll do my best.
Okay, let's get started.
I'm sure everyone is fine with me being the team leader.
Objection?
What? Are you suggesting that an adult like you should be our leader?
Looky here, Shiden. You're just not really cut out to be a leader.
Hey, are you trying to make a fool of me?
See, that's what I'm talking about. I think someone more calm like Yuito should be in charge.
What? Me? I mean, I don't mind the responsibility.
Relax. You don't have to be so stiff with us. Welcome aboard, Mr. Leader.
Spoiled Sumeragi brat. I suppose he's used to giving orders.
What's that supposed to mean?
What's the matter, Shiden? You jealous of Yuito or something?
This is beneath me.
Oh, that's right. Didn't you put in a request to join Seto Platoon this year? What, your hero Captain Seto didn't choose you? Oh, that's so sad.
Shut up. Let's just get started already.
Anyway, let's play nice out there, okay? Baki always says that where there's smiles, there's happiness.
Baki, huh? That's great. You hear that, Shiden? Don't forget to smile.
Enough talking! Let's go already!
Okay, let's look for this flag, but don't let your guard down.
time for my power, Yuito.
I can hit it! It's over!
I mean, I know they're just training visions, but the others here are always so realistic.
It's not just the others. Everything here is a simulation.
Is my body real? Maybe I'll think up a new dish for next time. Yuito, you need my power. A water attack? Getting wet limits your mobility, so be careful.
Here we go! Come on! Now die! this up!
Hey, there's the flag! We can't get through, though. Let's look for another way.
Here we go! Alright! We did it!
This is pretty rare.
Alright!
Looks like the enemy dropped something rare. Get it, Yuito!
Here we go! Leave it to me! Come on! Come on! Let's keep this up!
I think there's something over there.
I can hit it! Come on! Leave it to me! Come on!
We did it! Watch out for electric attacks. You won't be able to move if you're electrified.
Come on! Yeah! Yeah! Here we go! Come on! Gotcha!
Woo, nice job. Looks like there's a resource nearby.
Here we go!
Get it, Yuito!
Now die! Yeah! It's over!
We just have to head to the goal.
Stop dictating every little move. Just get going. Whew, scary. You're yapping like a chihuahua.
The enemy dropped something rare.
Here we go! I can hit it! Come on! Come on! Here we go! Come on!
Are you sure this is the way, Yuito? As the leader, you should have the topography memorized.
Just shut up and come over here, young man. Come on, guys. This should be the way, so let's keep going.
Let me use your power! We did it! Yeah! It's over! Here we go! Now die! Come on! Hey! Leave it to me! Here we go!
Shiden's electrokinesis might be effective.
So, you need help?
That enemy is stunned. You're a genius.
All right. We did it.
Okay, battle's over.
So trivial.
What is?
Your power status is low and you fight like an amateur. Why would Captain Seto or even Major General Karin take an interest in someone like you?
Whoa there, Shiden. Did you ever stop to think that maybe this is why you weren't chosen to be the leader?
Shut up. It's not that I want to be the leader. I just don't want to follow orders from someone inferior to me.
Are you sure you're not the one who's inferior?
Shut up, you adult! Yuito, keep your eyes open up ahead. If I were the leader, I would be waiting in a blind spot near the finish line.
What do you mean?
In other words, instead of looking around for the flag, it would be more efficient to steal the flag right near the finish line.
Oh, I see. But this is just an exercise.
Hold up, we've got company. It's Kasane's team.
I knew it. That is so like Kasane.
Let's ambush them. Come on.
Sorry, but I've got my hands full here. Take care of Kasane, team leader.
Same here. I can't help. You're the team leader, so figure it out.
Hey, Yuito! That was really something.
You did a good job of managing those two.
You looked amazing, Yuito.
Yep, you really were something. You're a natural leader.
We might have won this time, but I still have my doubts.
I miscalculated. Hanabi, Tsugumi, I'm sorry.
What? Don't be silly. You aren't to blame at all. I hate losing.
I honestly underestimated you. I never imagined I would lose a power battle between us.
Okay. I didn't think you would be that direct, but thanks.
You showed some promise the other day when we fought together. I have to say, I'm impressed.
Thanks. I'm happy to hear you say that.
Sorry to interrupt, but here's your prize. Good work today.
A message from Dad?
Congratulations on officially making it into OSF. Kaito's filled me in. I'm still against you joining OSF, but just promise me you'll be careful. You're your own man now that you're a member of OSF. I think it's finally time we sat down and talked about our family and your mother. We should invite Kaito and have dinner together sometime. I'll contact you once I know my schedule.
What is it?
I got a message from my father. He never sends messages.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's time to call it a day. Thanks to everyone who participated.
You're acting strange, Kagura.
What do you mean?
Don't you hate training exercises?
Well, I thought it would be a good opportunity to show off to the newbies. There's some real cuties this year.
And you cheated drawing strings.
Shh. I just wanted to team up with the new guy and see what he's got.
I must have gone to Sumeragi Tomb at some point before training. I should go there again. Maybe I'll remember something. Why did I end up here? I don't remember how I got here at all. I really should talk to Kaito about it. Yuito, deployment orders. We confirmed a large pack of others in an abandoned subway. Head over there, right away. Okay, got it. And Nagi? He's already on his way. Thanks. I'll be right on his heels. It looks like calling Kaito is going to have to wait. Seto platoon is all here.
You've all heard the situation from Wataru. Apparently, there's a swarm of others in these abandoned subway lines. The extinction belt has descended to lower altitudes, and they're flowing underground from the air ducts. Sure, there's no need to explain it at this point, but we have some new blood here. So let's see what you know about the extinction belt. What's the extinction belt? Nagi.
Yes, sir. It's an anomaly that's believed to be the product of the Spring of Extinction.
Exactly. It accumulated near the Earth's stratosphere and has covered the whole globe. Others are born inside it and have been observed descending to the Earth's surface, so don't go near areas where the belt is thick. The others could appear anywhere. The extinction belt also has the tendency to block signals. If that happens, Wataru's telepathy will be our only means of communication.
Without a communicator, my telepathy only allows me to talk to you and not the other way around. Let's hope the communicators don't go down.
So that's the deal. I want you to stay on your toes out there.
Understood.
This will be a joint operation between the 7th and 8th Company from the 1st Regiment and the 1st and 2nd Company from the 2nd Regiment. It's a large-scale joint operation. I want you all to refrain from going off on your own, especially you, Kagero.
What? You're really going to call me out in front of everyone, Captain?
Don't get so upset. Team 1 will be me, Nagi, and Hanabi. Team 2 will be Kagero, Tsugumi, and Yuito. Seto Platoon will head to Point Alpha behind 2nd Company.
Understood.
This is the first time we've worked together, Tsugumi. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
You can't see it, but the other is still around. Use SAS to find it.
Here we go!
That's gonna
Not
leave
yet.
a mark.
Here I go! Let's keep this up. All right.
Nice brilliant.
We did it! Watch out in front! Target! All right.
This is pretty rare. You always get all the good enemies, Yuito, but I'm going to get a piece this time. Sure, I'm looking forward to it. Let's do our best. Watch out for electric attacks. You won't be able to move if you're electrified.
Here we go!
Get it!
Now die! Come on!
Yuito!
We did it!
Burrowed into the ground, but it should show up if you become invisible. That must be its weak spot.
Thanks, Kagero.
Please, it lost us. That was impressive.
So this is the subway. So it's basically an abandoned line. There are some places with active subway lines, though. Nice first strike.
I can hit it! Leave it to me! It's over!
Ooh, nice job. There's a train, Yuito. Make sure the others don't notice what you're doing.
Here we go!
Huh? Notice me doing what? You know, ramming it into them. Captain, does the extinction belt usually come down lower than the stratosphere? No, it's usually seen higher. It's pretty rare for it to be this low. Let's be ready.
All in! Let's go!
So this is brain drive. It feels like all the nerves inside my body are standing on end.
I can hit it! Come on!
Everything in the subway looks the same. Try not to get turned around.
Come on!
Here's some power.
Here we go!
It's down! Give it everything you've got!
Now die!
Brain drive is basically just really intense focus, right? Apparently BIOS has a function to adjust the stimulation to the brain, allowing for easier control of brain drive.
But I don't think relying on it is good. You need to control your power by yourself.
I think we can use that train, Yuito. Just ram the others when they're not looking.
I can hit it! We did it!
The enemy dropped something.
All right!
I'm a little stronger now.
Reinforcement request from Kyoka Platoon's operator, Haruka. They're being attacked at Point Alpha. It appears they're cut off. We're unable to contact them directly because of the extinction belt interference. Get him, Yuito!
Yeah! Here we go!
Do it!
Now die! Come on!
Someone's coming this way.
Captain Seto!
Naomi, we got a request for reinforcements from Haruka. What happened?
Others have descended on Point Alpha. The additional units scheduled to arrive were nowhere to be seen, so Acting Commander Gemma ordered me to request reinforcements from Seto Platoon.
the others attacking from 12 o'clock. We'll arrive in 1 minute. The enemy will flank us with hypervelocity and attack from behind.
What? What do you mean?
My power is precognition.
It's true. Captain, the others are gathering at Point Alpha, and 3 are closing in on Seto Platoon's current position.
Wow.
Naomi, connect to SAS with me. Team, it's time to clean up these others. Take them down while we make our way to Point Alpha.
Understood.
So your power lets you see the future, Naomi? Can you choose when to look?
Yes, but I can only see a little ahead.
That's an amazing...
I can hit it!
Amazing power!
I'm happy to hear you say that. Be safe, Kasane.
Leave it to me!
It's all right, Naomi. Kasane is the top cadet. Of course, you know that since you're her sister. I'm so stupid.
No, thank you for reassuring me.
Damn! Don't get caught!
All right, it looks like it lost us.
I can hit it! Come on!
It's Kyoka Platoon!
Captain, the interference from the extinction belt is... At this rate, lose contact!
Wataru, get those communicators back up. Is there anyone else?
Point Alpha! Survivors!
Captain, the ceiling is starting to crack!
Damn it! Evasive maneuvers! Kyoka Platoon, disperse! They're coming from above!
Captain Seto!
Scooby, get out of there!
Yeah!
Nagi, watch out! Get out of the way!
Kasane, look out!
Run!
Thank you. You saved me.
Is everyone all right?
Gimmick Garrison and Tsugumi Nazar reporting in.
There are 2 more nearby.
Yuito, you alive?
Nagi, where are you right now?
Next to the rubble. I'm with Naomi. Let me reboot the GPS. Ah!
What's wrong? Nagi!
Others are attacking from all around us! Nagi is... Ah!
Naomi!
This is bad. There are too many others. We have to hurry.
I'll clear the rubble.
There are too many.
I'll help!
Naomi! Naomi, are you okay? I'm okay. I just hurt my leg a little. I'm gonna kill it.
Hey, calm down!
I will once I kill it. You handle things over there.
Fine. Tsugumi!
Understood.
I hope Kasane is okay. I think Hanabi is with Captain Seto, but I'm worried about what happened to Kagero.
Let's keep this up.
Kagero can take care of himself. More importantly, we need to focus on the enemy in front of us.
We did!
You're right. Let's take care of these guys first.
Nagi. Thanks, man.
Naomi.
I'm okay. I'm heading to...
Naomi!
Watch out!
What is...
Naomi? What's wrong? Naomi?
Naomi?
Anyone that can move, lend a hand.
I'll fight too.
Attacks come from the ground, too. Watch your feet. Don't let your guard down. I'm so confused.
Stop! Please stop!
Kasane, wait! What are you doing?
This other is Naomi! Naomi!
A transfer power? You need strong abilities to move something that size.
Wait! Where did you send Naomi?
Hey, Kasane! Wait! Damn it, the rubble... What is this?
An ampule. It has Seiran's emblem on it.
What was that? Naomi, she's...
Nagi, calm down.
How am I supposed to calm down? What the hell is that?
Look, I don't know either. I don't know what's going on, but we have to do something.
Sorry, I know now's not the time to panic, but what do we do?
The person with the most experience here is...
No, this is beyond what I can handle. Look at what happened when Kyoka put me in charge of the platoon.
Okay, then let's do this. I'll go after Kasane. Nagi, go report to the frontline command and tell them what happened.
No, I'll go with you.
Not with that leg, you're not. Tsugumi, you go with Nagi. It seems like we can't get a hold of command because of the signal interference.
Okay.
Be careful.
You too. Gemma, if you were put in charge of Kyoka Platoon, that means Kasane is your subordinate, right? I need you to come with me as her acting commander.
You're right. Copy that.
Yuito, Gemma, hold on.
Major General Fubuki.
I'm glad you're both okay. I ran into Nagi and Tsugumi, and I came after you as soon as I heard.
Heard what?
About Naomi. I'll tell you what I told them. You're not to repeat what happened to anyone.
What do you mean?
I mean just that. Don't tell anyone about it. It will serve to protect all of you. Also, did you happen to pick up anything like an ampule on your way here?
Oh, yes.
Would you mind handing that over to me?
What is that ampule? Or is that classified too?
To put it simply, this ampule is a power enhancer. It boosts the psionic hormones. We know that it's developed in Seiran. However, this is classified OSF information. I can't tell you any more than that.
So many secrets.
Yes, unfortunately, whenever people gather together, there are always ulterior motives. It's best to stay away from these sticky spider webs. That's why I'm warning you. Anyway, you two come with me. We'll find somewhere safe.
No, Kasane is up ahead. She went after Naomi. Would it be okay if I continued looking for her? I'm worried.
Fine. If you see her, make sure to tell her not to share what happened to anyone either. Don't do anything reckless. I'll send some reinforcements soon. And since there's a chance we'll have to withdraw from the front lines, you should fall back to your hideout if you meet up with them. It'll be a lot safer to head back to Suo from there. In any case, be careful.
He said we should be quiet about what happened today to protect ourselves. Major General Fubuki was so calm. How can he be when Naomi turned into another? Yeah, something's not right. Those guys were National Defense Forces. Where did they take Naomi? Why did she just change into another?
There's a lot we don't understand, but it's a fact that Naomi is another now.
All right. Let's keep this up. Focus. All right. Major General Karin?
Yuito and Gemma, you two take care of her. I'm returning to the front line to regroup the units.
Yes, sir. Kasane, where's Naomi?
I suppose I can tell you, since you saw the whole thing. She was taken by troops stationed in Seiran.
So that car was from the Seiran garrison?
Yes, so?
Something's not right. When I reported this to Major General Fubuki, he told me not to tell anyone else, and to tell you to do the same.
Major General Karin said the same thing. Why tell us to keep quiet? Does that mean OSF is hiding something?
I don't know. Major General Fubuki said it would protect us. And take a look at this. It seems like the Seiran garrison dropped this, too.
I remember seeing this at home when I was a child.
According to the Major General, it's a drug that temporarily boosts powers. He wanted me to turn them over, but I managed to keep 2 of them without him knowing.
That was a smart decision. In any case, why would something like that be at my home? The Randall family is involved in weapon development. Anything related to drug manufacturing would have only been joint ventures with Spring Pharmaceuticals.
He also mentioned that this drug was classified information. It seems like the top brass of the OSF know about it.
Spring Pharmaceuticals is Major General Fubuki's family company. Perhaps the commander knew because of that.
Don't trust new Himuka.
What? What is that supposed to mean?
It's something Karin said. I'm not exactly sure what he meant by it either. If this ampule really is from Seiran, then does that mean the Randalls and Springs are cooperating with Seiran? Even if that's the case, it just leaves us with more questions. It might be best to do as we were told. We keep this to ourselves and look into it privately.
That ampule seems to be pretty important. Might be a good idea to hide it.
Then I'll hide the ampule inside Baki.
Huh?
I didn't think you'd know how to sew.
I was always told to be independent, ever since I was little. Done. There's 2, so who's going to hold on to them?
I'll pass. I think you 2 should probably carry them.
Baki. My sister would have been so happy.
Kasane, about Naomi. I'm sorry. I knew that other was Naomi, but I was scared. I had no other choice but to fight.
Stop it. I'll get Naomi back. Just don't get in my way.
This might come off as naive, but I want to do what I can to help save her, too.
It is naive, but thank you.
Oh, nice one, Tsugumi. Looks like everyone's here. Huh, where's Naomi? Isn't she with you? What's wrong?
I'll tell you later. Where's Nagi? And Captain Seto and Hanabi?
Nagi is with the rescue team on the front line.
Captain and Hanabi are totally fine. They're worried about you, so we should get out of here.
No, the rest of you go first. Shiden's supposed to be up ahead, so I'll pick him up.
Then I'll go with you. For better or worse, I'm the leader of Kyoko Platoon until this mission is over.
All right. Be careful.
So I guess it's best we join up with Captain Seto and head over to the hideout.
So, this is your family's unit. It's a good fit geographically, and is well equipped. I hope we can use it as a hideout. You don't mind?
Of course not. It doesn't look like it's being used by my family anymore.
Then we'll use this as our platoon's hideout.
I'm just glad you're okay. We were all really worried. Tsugumi was crying her eyes out. I was not.
What? Tsugumi, you've got the hots for Yuito? What about me?
Shut up.
Harsh.
Where's Naomi? Did she and Gemma regroup with Kyoko Platoon?
Oh, Naomi is... It's not like Naomi is dead, but I can't just say she turned into another. An other got her.
No way. Naomi? But She's the best next to Kasane, and she's so nice.
That's why you look so down. That must have been hard, losing a friend like that. Everyone goes through that at least once. I won't tell you to cheer up, but this is something you're gonna have to learn to accept. To survive in the OSF, it's necessary.
I understand.
Let's rest here a while. You have my permission. Take some time to get yourself together. It's a sad situation, but the others won't wait.
Yuito, did Major General Fubuki ask you to be quiet about Naomi?
Yeah, he did. He told me to say the same thing to Kasane. Did he tell you too?
Yeah. I don't like not telling the truth.
I'm sorry, Yuito. It's too bad about Naomi, but you did the best you could. Rest for now. Yes, sir. Good work, Yuito. Sorry I couldn't support you the whole time. It's fine. There was nothing you could do. Anyway, Naomi is... Yeah, I heard. She was so nice. It's too bad.
Tsugumi, can we talk?
Huh? Talk? Sure.
Oh, are you busy? It's okay if you are.
No, it's fine. I just wasn't ready. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize. I'm sorry for showing up so suddenly.
But I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, really.
I'm not good at chatting. I just can't think of what to say and I get all quiet. I feel like people get uncomfortable when they talk to me, so I always apologize.
I don't feel uncomfortable at all, so don't worry about it. Talk as slowly as you need to.
Thanks. So, did you want something?
Oh, it's not that important, but I saw you watering the flowers at OSF headquarters before. I wanted to ask you if you like flowers and plants.
Yeah. Gardening is my hobby. I've grown lots of plants since I was little.
Wow, gardening sounds fun. There were a lot of plants in my garden at home, too.
Your garden is probably big.
Yeah, I bet taking care of it was hard. We've kind of let it go lately.
That's too bad.
It is. There were all kinds of flowers before. I used to enjoy spending time looking at them.
Oh, Yuito, you like plants?
Huh? Well, I suppose you could say I do. I've never actually grown them myself, though.
What kind do you like? Flowers or decorative shrubs? Big trees are cool too.
Well, if I had to choose... Oh, right. There were these beautiful white flowers in our garden. I liked those. They seemed kind somehow. They only bloom for a short time, though.
Do you know the flower's name?
No, I don't. The old gardener who planted them quit a long time ago. Tsugumi? Why are you so quiet?
I think I can find that flower.
What? You can do that?
I'm good at investigating plants. It will be faster if I have more information.
Information? Oh, you mean like the flower's characteristics? I think it bloomed in the winter.
What else? Tell me exactly what it looks like.
The petals are small and kind of pointed, and the tips of them are tinged pink. The leaves were oval, long, and thin, and kind of came up around the bottom. It was about this big. Does that make sense?
I get the idea. Now, do you remember the number of petals? That's a small detail, so you might not.
Yeah. I'm not so sure, but I think it was about 6? No, wait, maybe 7. Yeah, it was 7, I think.
You have a good memory. That's plenty of information. I'll look into it. I'll let you know when I know the name.
Thanks. I'd be so happy if I could see that flower again. Hey, Tsugumi?
No, this is lanceolate. Smaller and cyclic.
It doesn't look like she can hear me. I guess she really does like plants. She's really focused. I'll leave her alone. What is it? I find it hard to believe you need to talk to me about something.
First, I want you to look at this.
The menu? Okay. New menu festival. Finish our large portions within the time limit and your meal is free. Also receive a bonus case of soda. Wait, you're not asking me to do this, are you?
I sure am. You eat, and I get the soda prize. Don't worry, if you can't finish it all, I'll pay for the meal.
This is what you wanted to talk about? I don't know if I'm up for it.
It's to advertise the new menu, so the food is about 3 times more than usual. A kid your age should have a pretty big appetite. You can totally do it.
Look, it says you need a reservation. I don't think...
Don't worry, I already made one.
You planned everything already. I guess I'd feel bad canceling on them now. Okay, I'll try. Oh, I'm so full.
Good job. That was a lot of food. You didn't let me down. Still, I may have pushed you too hard. Next time, I'll get you whatever food you like to make it up to you.
No, no more food. I know. Can you come adjust SAS with me now?
You want me to adjust your SAS?
I heard you're really good at that stuff. I mean, I won't force you or anything. Something was just feeling off about it.
Okay, fine. I guess I owe you for helping me get what I want.
You mean the soda? You must really love soda.
So much that I can't refuse your request. Let's get this over with already.
Sorry for asking you to do this.
It's fine. You're a lot more impatient than I thought, though. I don't see why we couldn't do the SAS adjustments later.
This was a good opportunity to get you to look at it, and I wanted to get it done as soon as possible. I don't want to run into issues with the SAS during battle. I don't like causing problems for everyone.
Shouldn't you be more concerned with your own survival? It almost sounds like you don't prioritize your own life.
I guess you could say that.
You weren't even aware of it? Right, another one destined for an early death. You should be letting loose a little more. Learn how to slack off a little.
Slack off? No, I couldn't.
It's important to know when you can ease up. Taking proper breaks will increase your overall productivity. In other words, skipping out on work is the rational recommendation.
What happens if the others attack when you're easing up? And someone gets hurt?
Oh, you're so serious. Is it any fun to live like that?
I can't help it. That's just the way I am.
I know someone just like you. I feel so sorry for you both.
Who else is like me?
Okay, we're done. The RSG Support Center is closed for the day. Please contact us again during our regular business hours.
Huh? That was quick. Thanks.
Now we're even for today. That means I can enjoy my soda guilt-free. Also, don't work too hard. See ya.
She's different. I'm tired. Maybe I should rest a bit. Huh? Where's Captain Seto?
He went back to Suo a little while ago. He said he's going back to work, but we can do whatever we want until we're needed.
Sorry, but that's the end of free time. Seto platoon is being called.
My. The boss says it's time to work. Yuito, Hanabi, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm okay too. I guess I have to be.
Yeah, as long as you're OSF, you'll lose people like this. You have to get over it.
You're right. Nagi! When were you discharged? I would have come to get you!
Huh? Oh, they suddenly said I could leave this morning.
Oh man, so you were called in as soon as you were discharged? That's bad luck.
You were in the hospital since the mission in the abandoned subway. Are you all healed?
You know it. I was getting rusty, so I was glad for the deployment.
Sorry to keep everyone waiting. What's this? So you're back, Nagi? Hey, don't push yourself too hard.
I won't.
All right then. These orders are from Major General Karin. Others are reported along the Kunad Highway. We'll move in 3-man teams again. Team 1 is Nagi, Sugumi, and myself. Team 2 is Kagero, Yuito, and Hanabi. Lately, a lot of national defense forces are deployed along the Kunad Highway. It's an army, but they're still normal people. We can't let them get involved in a fight with others. If you happen to see them, tell them to keep their distance from the area. Let's head out to Kunad Highway.
Nagi, are you okay?
If you mean my wounds, I'm fine.
Not that. I mean about Naomi.
Oh, I mean, I was shocked that Naomi died in battle, but I can't let that affect me forever.
What? Died in battle? Naomi's alive.
Huh? That's not funny.
Huh? Oh, I guess it is kind of weird to refer to her as alive when she exists as another. But she's definitely alive, and we might be able to change her back.
She's an other. Are you feeling okay?
Huh?
We're deploying, so stop the crazy talk. We have to fight others for New Himuka. We have to accept that Naomi is dead and move on. Come on, let's go.
What's wrong with Nagi?
I'm sure you know, but if an other warning was issued, that means there are quite a few of them there. It's going to be a long day. Use your head and don't overdo it. Today's forecast calls for others. There will be scattered other showers throughout the day.
Come on! We did it! Here we go!
If your body begins to burn with fire, it'll drain your health, so be careful.
Hey, you should use my power sometimes.
Come on! All right! Let's keep this up.
The enemy dropped something rare.
The resource reading is close. Should we get it?
Yup. We did it! Here we go! Let's keep this up. We did it! All right! Let's keep this up.
It's scary seeing how much I evolve.
Come on! We did it!
Hey, Nagi. Do you remember when we got our fortunes at Sumeragi Tomb?
Come on!
Of course. That's when we met Naomi. I still can't believe she was killed in battle. His memory seems fine. Except for Naomi's metamorphosis. Use something big to break its outer shell. Use psychokinesis.
Come on! We did it!
There used to be cities down this road that traded with Suo. Now they're all abandoned, and the only ones who use this road are others in the OSF.
Let's keep this up. All in.
Let's go! The enemy is gonna try and ambush us. Let's go invisible.
All right.
Ooh, it's time for my power, Yuito.
Let's try. Let's regroup now.
Okay, battle's over. Oh, did you know? They say there are dead bodies buried underneath the cherry blossom tree. Wonder how many bodies and how much time it took for it to get this big.
I don't see anything buried.
Tsugumi, I was trying to scare them.
We did it! All right!
What, is it a late growth spurt?
We did it! Let's keep this up. We did it!
Yeah! First strike!
Let's keep this up. Come on!
Gotta focus!
All right!
Nice first strike! It sprayed something like oil. Don't get it on you. The shell is broken. Give it everything you have.
Leave it to me!
That must be its weak spot. Get it, Yuito.
Now die! Come on! Let's keep this up. There's still more? Here we go!
You're almost at the center of the forecast point. Stay frosty, everyone.
Captain Seto, this is where the others were anticipated to be, right?
We did run into some on the way here.
No, if this was the anticipated area, it should be swarming with others.
Wataru, any others around us?
This doesn't seem like the right place. Maybe there was some mistake. The communication lines are also too clear. I'm checking the other report again.
Wataru, what's wrong?
Captain, we're surrounded.
Above us!
Is that OSF?
Hey, Wataru. Was another unit deployed here?
No use. We're being jammed. It's probably because of them.
Seto, I still can't believe it. How can you support such horrific research?
Gemma? What are you talking about?
I really don't know. Are you being serious? If so, come with me now and do not resist.
Gemma, are you defying orders? If you don't align with Major General Karin's ideals, then you...
Yuito? Captain Seto? What is Seto Platoon doing here?
Kyoka, can you back us up? We need to withdraw.
Right. It's ridiculous for us to fight our allies.
Gemma, come with me. Tell me what's gotten into you.
No,
We'll draw off the OSF around us. I doubt they are willing to take on 2 Septentrions.
Would you say the same if it were me, Luca?
Karin.
Luca. I knew you would be here.
Leave my brother to me.
Don't fool yourself! Come at me all together. I'll take you on.
We really have to fight Major General Karin? He's #1 in the OSF and is a brain eater.
Here we go! Give up hope. This is what real power looks like.
Major General Karin, why are you attacking us? Is this all you're doing? What did you say to Gamma? Answer me, Karin!
Knowing won't solve anything. Even if I answer, your faith won't change at all. The game stopped me. I see. So it's different this time. Understood. However...
No! Everyone, get back!
This is bad. I need to find someone. What the hell's going on? I don't understand any of this. Why are Gemma and Major General Karin attacking us? So did the other OSF. Someone tell me what's going on!
All right. Come on.
I can't believe the National Defense Forces attacked us. We did. You won't get me today. I'll just break on through.
We did it! Come on!
Who's down over there? Nagi?
Nagi, what's wrong with you?
Naomi.
Hey!
The
Snap
other...
out of it!
I swear loyalty to New Himuka.
Nagi?
Yuito?
Another?
Other... My head...
Nagi? Are you okay?
Yuito, help Kasane. I'll get Nagi out of here.
Got it. Let's go, Kasane.
Leave it to me.
All right.
What's going on? Do you know Kasane?
Captain Seto, Kasane, thank you. You saved us.
Oh.
Are you okay?
Yes. What?
Do you feel sick? You're really spaced out.
Don't worry about me, I'm fine. Anyway, let's go to Karin.
Go to him? Can we beat him?
No, he's not our enemy.
But he attacked us.
No, I found out about Naomi. It's...
Nagi, what are you doing?
No questions. I will dispose of you.
Nagi!
Now I understand. Nagi, you're...
Get out of my way, Captain!
I can't do that. Nagi, you don't want to kill Yuito. If you do, you'll regret it. Nagi!
Then you will die!
Captain Seto!
Nagi! Stop!
We finally found you!
Captain Seto!
I won't die that easily, Nagi. After all, you're a part of my platoon. I'll be damned if they take you!
Kasane, what's wrong? My power. Could it be resonating with Kasane's? What is this place?
Yuito.
Are you all right, Kasane?
Yes. Where are we?
Hey, that's the Sumeragi crest. And that man over there is dressed like the legendary Yakumo Sumeragi. What's going on?
I saw these in a dream.
Kasane! Damn it! What the hell just happened to us? But where's Kasane? Hanabi! Are you okay, Hanabi?
Yeah. Huh? Why is this happening? Finally, found you.
Tsugumi!
Thank goodness. Are you all right? I am fine. Captain Seto! No, it's too late.
You're all right.
Gamma! What do you want? You still want to fight?
Not after that earthquake. No one has the will to fight.
Earthquake?
You don't remember? After we were attacked by Major General Karin, there was a really big earthquake here.
I didn't notice at all. It must have been while I was unconscious.
Look at that sky.
What is that?
There's some kind of gravitational anomaly happening there. Our fellow OSF got sucked in with the debris.
I projected my sight inside, but couldn't see anything. It's dangerous to get close. Also, the fire is spreading this way. We won't make it unless we leave now.
Okay. Gemma, we'll call a truce for now. Let's get out of here to better assess the situation.
All right.
Wait, what about Captain Seto's body? We can't just leave him here.
I'll carry him.
Let's move to our hideout for now. Everyone, follow me. I wonder if Kasane is okay. And what about that image I saw? What was that?
I borrowed the freezer in the back of the warehouse next door and put Seto's body in it.
Thank you for carrying him, Gemma.
Don't mention it.
First Naomi, then the captain? I knew being in the OSF was dangerous. But this?
You're right. All this infighting.
You were involved in that infighting too, Gemma.
What's happening? Tell me if you know. How did things end up like this?
It's all Major General Karin's doing. He said that the new Himuka government is trying to create a controlled society centralized around the Suo capital. That's consistent with what I've seen and heard.
A controlled society? What's that mean?
For example, 90% of all psionics will be drafted into the OSF with no right to refuse. The draft uses the results of the annual health checkup, which we also can't refuse. There are countless surveillance cameras in the city. Not many people know this, but the cameras are also equipped with sound recording. It's how they find and arrest dissidents. In the new Himuka regime, that's just the tip of the iceberg. This is an open secret, but there are some in the OSF that suddenly go through changes in their personality. They were all critical of the regime, so the rumor is that their minds were manipulated.
Manipulate the mind? That might be what happened to Nagi.
Major General Karin said he would stop this control of the people, and he would expel the government dogs from the OSF.
Government dogs? Is that why he attacked Captain Seto?
Yes, he said Seto was taking part in the government's personality rehabilitation. He showed me the evidence, but I still couldn't believe it. That's why I confronted Seto, so I could talk to him.
Captain Seto? No, it looked like he was trying to keep Nagi with us.
Captain Seto wouldn't have done that. That's not who he was. Wait, Tsugumi. Gemma knows that too. The evidence he saw was that convincing.
Yeah, but it didn't look like Seto was involved in the government's plan. And then there was that strange hole in the sky, an earthquake after you were attacked by Major General Karin. That wasn't ordinary. Several OSF soldiers were sucked into that hole. Even then, he wouldn't stop his plans for rebellion. That made me question him as well.
So that's why you called the truce?
Yes, this isn't a simple rebellion. Something's not right. I need to know what it is. The rebellion I was part of took Seto's life.
Yuito, you trust Gemma, don't you? But he didn't trust us.
Tsugumi's right. I should have been more careful. Will you give me the chance to learn the truth? I want to know if he really started this rebellion for the sake of the people.
I want to know too. I'm curious about that hole in the sky as well. So let's go to Suo together. There must be some clues.
Tsugumi, can you accept that? No, I can't. But if he apologizes, I can see it through somehow.
Right. I should have been more careful. The truth is, I let my indignation get the best of me. I'm sorry. I owe an apology to Seto, too. Though it's too late.
Apology accepted.
Okay, let's rest a bit and then go to Suo.
I don't think I've spoken to Hanabi lately. What Nagi did to Captain Seto. I saw it with my own eyes and I still can't believe it. What happened to you, Nagi?
Hey, Yuito. Do you remember our promise from last time?
Yeah, we said we'd talk again sometime.
How about now? There's something OSF related I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay, let's go to Masubi's.
Back when I was a cadet, I thought that fighting in the OSF as children of the state would mean doing good. I'd defeat the evil others as part of the heroic OSF. But things aren't really that simple.
I know.
Everyone had their own motives. I never imagined the OSF would be fighting each other. What is the right thing to do? It's something I really need to sit down and think about, but I don't know.
You're right. I get uneasy about it too sometimes. Although, I think it's better to take action than let worry consume you.
You have such a positive attitude.
I don't know if that's positive. I just think it's better than being kept in the dark the whole time. You have to gather as much intel as you can before something happens that can't be undone.
You're so sure of yourself. You're like Kasane in that way.
Really?
Yeah. Even if you two don't agree, you both are so sure of yourselves. I think that's really strong. I'm the same class year as both of you, but I'm always hesitating and worrying. If you didn't push me, I think I would have given up a long time ago.
You always saved me too. I wouldn't have made it this far if it wasn't for you.
I'm happy to hear you say that. But you don't need to placate me.
I'm not placating. You're always so cheerful. You push me to keep going forward. As kids, you always cheered me up when I was feeling sad. I wouldn't be here without you.
I know it's just flattery, but it's still a little embarrassing.
It's not flattery. I'm genuinely grateful. I need you.
Do you mean?
But not just you, Hanabi. I guess I need everyone by my side.
Oh, right. Friends are important.
Yeah. There's so much to think about, but you get stuck in a rut when you don't confide in people. So feel free to talk to me or anyone else when you need to. I'm sure we'll be able to help you somehow.
Yeah, I mean, talking to you has helped. Well, I'm heading back to the hideout.
Okay, see you later.
Thanks for listening.
There still seems to be something on her mind, but at least she cheered up a bit. I'm tired. Maybe I should rest. Okay, let's go to Suo.
I'm worried about Wataru. I hope he's okay. Hey, Major General Karin started a rebellion, right? There are probably other OSF that aligned with him, like Gemma was. There's even a chance that the Major General will be there too. If we find ourselves up against him, do you think we got what it takes to win?
Major General Karin is powerful. He's a Septentrion, the Brain Eater.
When his brain field hit me, my body convulsed like I was having a seizure. I learned how to develop a brain field as a cadet, but it was too taxing to use in a real battle. The fact that he used something so dangerous means that he's not fooling around. Still, I have to go. Right, Gemma?
Yes. I have to see what's happening with my own eyes.
Why are there others in the city?
Wataru, what's going on?
No response from Wataru. What's wrong?
The city's system stopped?
Be careful. Arahabaki, the computer that controls all of Suo, has shut down. I don't know the cause, but all of the city's defense systems are offline. That let others into the city, and the chaos is spreading.
Wataru, what does that mean?
You're able to contact him?
I'll see if I can reboot Cynet from here. Eliminate as many others from the city as you can. This isn't our normal communication, but my telepathy. The comms are down, so I can only speak to you. I can't hear you, so don't bother replying. Do your best to survive.
What? Hey, Wataru!
Yuito, Wataru is communicating only to you?
It looks like Cynet is down, so he's contacting me telepathically.
I see. So we'll be without his support for a while.
Yeah. He says Arahabaki was shut down, and the defense system is down too. And he said there are others in the city he wants us to take care of. He'll be focusing on rebooting the system.
He wants us to eliminate the others, but we don't know where or how many there are.
Yeah. Tsugumi, give us the rundown about each and every other you find. We'll take them out.
Understood. It might be difficult in such a large area, but I'll try.
Okay. Let's just clean up the others around us first.
Understood.
I can't believe Suo's systems went down. It's usually full of visions.
It's mostly ads, but it makes me nervous when you're all gone.
I can hit it! I hit the outer shell. I think I can break it if I focus my attacks. Come on! Attack worked!
Yuito, Major General Fubuki is in our vicinity.
Where?
2 o'clock. Coming this way.
Who are you under?
Captain Seto is dead, so currently...
Seto is dead? Wait, are you under Karin's command? Or did he not summon you?
Major General Fubuki, I'll explain the situation.
I see. So Karin didn't summon any soldiers here other than Gemma.
What's going on? It looks like the city defense system is down.
I'll explain later. I still don't fully grasp what's happening as well. What I know for sure is that he stirred up some members of the OSF and conspired with the Seiran forces. With them, he attacked Suo.
So he did this to the city?
Were you aware of this, Gemma?
I didn't think he'd let others into the city, but I knew.
Since you're with Yuito now, you're not aligning yourself with Seiran. Am I correct in that assumption?
That's right.
All right, I'll take any OSF allies I can get. You will all be under me now. I've split up troops to evacuate civilians, but there's just not enough of us.
We'll help. I don't know what he's thinking, but I can't believe he'd endanger civilians.
Thank you. Then I name Yuito as your temporary platoon leader.
Me?
Yes. Some of the council members failed to evacuate and are heading to shelter on foot. There's no communication from the backup OSF or the National Defense Forces. I want you to go see what's going on. The chairman and council members will feel safe with you.
My father. Understood.
I don't know what's going on, but it is dangerous. Everyone be careful. Even if you see other OSF, they may not be allies. There's no word of Seiran forces invading, but we don't know everything. We can't contact the central control center that houses Arahabaki, so don't take any risks. I'm counting on you.
Understood.
I'm going to the central control center. First, we need to reboot the defense system or the battle control system.
Let's head for OSF headquarters. The council shelter should be near there. You're okay with that, Gemma?
Yes, my desire to protect Suo is the same as yours. I swear my loyalty, at least until this situation settles down.
I trust you.
What is Major General Karin thinking attacking Suo? Even if he has some reason, this is wrong.
We did it!
Good.
We did it! All right. Here we go! We did it!
Can still get better. The shell is broken. Give it everything you have.
Now die! It's over! Come on. All right. Here we go.
It's too dangerous to move on foot in this situation. If he's attacked by another, please be okay until I get there.
I'm a little stronger now.
Here we go. All right. We did it.
Isolate
Still more.
Are you okay?
You're Chairman Sumeragi's...
Yes, I'm Yuito Sumeragi. There are others all over the city. Please, go to the shelter right away.
Please hurry to OSF headquarters. The chairman is being attacked by what look like OSF soldiers.
What? My father?
Hurry and help the chairman.
Understood.
Let's hurry. I'm worried about your dad.
Right.
Dad is being attacked by OSF? What the hell? I have to hurry.
Kasane?
Huh? Yuito.
Dad.
Kasane, are you okay?
Dad! Out of the way! What are you doing?
Yuito, you must die.
What?
What are you saying?
I made a promise to you. Arm yourself!
You promised me that you'd kill me? What are you talking about?
You don't need to understand. Die.
Stop it, Kasane!
Don't go near them, Hanabi. Kasane means business. If you get too close, not only will you not stop her, you could die.
By any means.
Here we go! Damn it! What is Kasane thinking? Let's regroup now. At this rate, Dad will... Kasane, we can do whatever you want later. I'm just worried about my father right now. Please, stop!
There's nothing to talk about. By any means. Give up. It won't work.
What do you think you're doing? What do I do? Dad, I have to find a way to stop Kasane, even for a second. Oh, right. The brain field. I should be able to do it. I'm not as strong as Major General Karin, but if I try, though it might be too much for me. No! Think about that later. I don't have time to hesitate. Sorry, Kasane. This is all I could think of! I can do this!
Kasane, it's time to end this! If you really killed my father, then I'll never forgive you.
I can still fight!
Witness my strength! Kasane! Kasane!
Yurito? Something's not right here. Yurito's brain. It's an overdrive. It's dangerous.
Yurito, do you read me? Close the brain field right now!
It got me.
What's happening to me? Is this the brain field?
No. I can still fight.
Wait! What are you doing? Why are you trying to kill me? And my father... Kasane... Did you stab my father? Wait, what's this?
Attention all citizens of New Himuka, you blind fools who denied the truth before your own eyes. I am Karin Travers of the OSF. I reject the control of the New Himuka government as one of the Awoken. My allies and I have decided to cooperate with Seiran, who share our will. Pitiful citizens of New Himuka, don't turn your eyes from the truth. This nation is insane.
They control the city, the information, and the people with Signet. Not even your thoughts are free. You are nothing but livestock, born to be used by the state. New Himuka is a regime that eliminates those that threaten them by driving them insane. They only raise submissive livestock they can control. There is no justice.
Hey! Kasane's getting away!
Wait! Wait!
Yuito.
Dad?
Tsugumi, we're going after Kasane.
Yes.
Dad!
Yuito. I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for?
There's so much I have to tell you. Be careful. This nation, you...
Mr. Sumeragi!
No way.
You can't die! Dad, please!
Wake up, citizens of New Himuka. Seiran protects the free will of the people and offers an environment for them to live as human beings. I promise to uphold that standard. There are no requirements to join us. I stood at the front lines of Seiran and rebelled against a society that would control humans and only allow some of them rights. Now, I will destroy the New Himuka regime with Seiran as my homeland. What begins now is an escape from oppressive control, a revolution. To those of you who are awake, those who wish to awaken, come join my cause in Seiran. Help me destroy the New Himuka regime and put an end to their tyranny forever.
That looks like the end of Major General Karin's speech video. The government has started blocking it so it's inaccessible. So that means what he was saying is true. I knew everyone was under some control, but information is seriously being limited. Why don't you rest a little? I mean, this must be hard for you.
I'm sorry to make you worry.
Don't apologize. I mean, something like that happening right in front of you, it would be hard for anyone.
Kasane killed my father? Why would she do that? Did she really? And if New Himuka was trying to make a controlled society, my father and brother were at the center of it. Could he actually do such a thing? If so, then what's the reasoning behind it? Am I the only one who was kept in the dark about this? Damn it! Nothing makes any sense!
Both of you are all right.
Gemma! Tsugumi!
I'm sorry. I lost Kasane. It's frustrating.
We saw our meetup with Major General Karin, but we were attacked by the OSF with him. They disappeared while we were distracted. Since Tsugumi couldn't track them, they must have been moved by a teleporter.
I talked to Wataru too. He's all right, but his sister...
Did something happen?
She disappeared. I think she joined the Karin supporters in Seiran.
It seems nearly half of the OSF have joined him in Seiran. There are rumors that Seiran will declare independence.
So Kasane went to Seiran?
Yeah, probably.
What about you, Gemma?
Yeah, I probably would have gone as well. But now, I don't understand what what Karin is doing.
What do you mean? New Himuka really was watching its citizens.
True, the new Himuka government is likely controlling its citizens. Even so, I don't believe that putting people in danger was the right thing to do. It seems Karin evacuated the civilians of Suo to shelters before this disturbance started. But even if he did, he was the one who let others into the city in the first place. And then there's Seto. If what he told me about Seto is true, then Seto wouldn't have risked his life to stop Nagi. If he trampled on Seto's dignity to increase his allies, then I can't forgive him, or myself, for being a fool and not believing Seto.
Right. Captain Seto. And we don't know where Nagi is.
Yuito, you don't look well.
Look, Segumi's worried too. Just take a break.
A lot of things just happened. Don't push yourself.
Thanks, guys.
Didn't I have something to talk to Gemma about?